Tonight on CTV News at 5, a deadline approaching on a provincial speed camera ban. Local governments given 2 weeks to make the change. Plus, the Royal Canadian Legion Poppy campaign is back ahead of Remembrance Day, a call for volunteers being made as help is needed. And one win away from taking the World Series, Blue Jays fever spreads across Waterloo Region ahead of Game 6 in Toronto. CTV News at 5 starts right now. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. First at 5, say goodbye to speed cameras. The Ford government is moving to ban the use of the municipal speed enforcers, officially passing Bill 56 yesterday. Following months of voicing his thoughts on how he thinks speed cameras are a cash grab, Premier Doug Ford and his government are making it illegal for them to be used. Instead, Ford says they will be shifting focus to alternative speed reduction measures, such as bigger signage and speed bumps. With over 25 active speed cameras in school zones within Waterloo Region, elected officials say they're unsure of what's next.
We haven't had clear information yet about what the province's plans are now. I mean, there's been some vague statements about a fund being set up. I've asked, how do we apply for that? What does that include? How much is in that fund? What will it cover? And they've just been told that details are coming.
CTV's Karis Mapp will have response from the region about the ending of its speed cameras coming up at 6. New developments in a story about a serious crash and an underage driver. A 15-year-old girl from Cambridge is facing criminal charges in a collision that left her and 3 other teens badly injured. The car involved was sitting upside down along Clyde Road in North Dumfries following the October 6th crash. Waterloo Regional Police now say they've determined the car had been going 176 kilometers an hour in a community safety zone where the speed limit is 50. The 15-year-old driver is charged with 3 counts of dangerous driving causing bodily harm, driving without a license, speeding, and 2 counts of stunt driving. 3 of the teens involved have since been released from hospital, while another remains in a hospital outside the region. The region of Waterloo's 2 overnight warming centers will open tomorrow evening. Let's bring in CTV's Tony Grace for a closer look at this and some other news we're following this hour. Tony.
Colton, thank you. With colder weather setting in, the sites, which opened last winter, are open again 7 days a week. The Kitchener site's on Lawrence Avenue, and it's run by Thresholds Homes and Supports. The Cambridge location is in the basement of Wesley United Church next to City Hall, and it's operated by Porchlight Counseling and Addiction Services. Each has capacity for about 30 people.
Ideally, like, we make a connection that people can come back to. It's like, I trust that space, I trust those people. Like, I'm ready to start kind of talking about, hopefully a shift into housing.
Hopefully it's a bit of a haven, a place where people can really feel safe.
Krista Simpson will have more on this story at 6. Also coming up, the Royal Canadian Legion's 2025 Poppy campaign kicked off today. Here we see veterans, Legion members, and dignitaries at Branch 530 in Waterloo for the official launch. Hopes are high for the fundraiser and to get more younger boots on the ground collecting donations.
For instance, myself, I'm 80 years old and I can't do like I used to do. And it's that everybody's getting older, right? But we're not getting the younger generation to get involved with it.
Last year, the Poppy campaign in KW raised enough money to distribute $125,000 to local hospitals, veterans groups, and cadets. CTV's Jeff Pickle has more on the campaign coming up at 6. For now, Colton, I'll send things back over to you.
All right, thank you, Tony. And time to check in on Alex Pinto with our first check on the weather. And it's Halloween evening. Alex is live on location from a spooky spot along Bridgeport Road in Waterloo. Alex, a pretty impressive display.
Oh, yeah, very impressive display, Colton. If you've driven past Bridgeport, you may have noticed what we know as the Pumpkin House and the masterminds behind that, Mike and Haley, joining us live with, check out all these awesome costumes that we've got here. You guys are ready for trick-or-treating here this evening, right? So this display is very impressive. You've been doing this for quite some time. What kind of work goes in behind the scenes?
A lot of planning.
A lot of DIY stuff. We like to build a lot of our props.
Yeah. It takes about a year to get it all set up and to get the concept done and to finally put it into place.
So what can guests expect? What can trick-or-treaters expect this year at your place?
This year, we went with something more immersive than we normally do. So it's a walkthrough. It's a maze, and with a surprise at the end.
Surprise at the end. We're not going to give that surprise away.
Spooky surprise.
And Mike, you started this over a decade ago.
Yeah, about 12 years ago we started it. It was really small at the start, a couple pumpkins, and then it just grew every year and year until this is what we have now, which is pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy. Pretty cool, though. And we're going to be here over the next couple of hours and chatting with Mike and Haley a little bit later as well. But one thing we're noticing, it is a windy one out here, and I'm going to make sure that our costume and hats don't blow away tonight. So as we take a look at your satellite and radar map, we are noticing a bit more of that cloud cover start to develop as well too. Keeping our fingers crossed that rain definitely holds off for the trick-or-treaters. In terms of current conditions, many of us sitting back into that single-digit territory as well. So if you do have plans to head out to go trick-or-treating tonight, you might want to maybe layer up. I know a few of us are, well, we've got a couple jackets on and a few extra layers, but hey, if we're dressed for the weather, I think it'll be a pretty good night, Colton. So we'll be here throughout the hour and right through 6 o'clock as well.
Hey, extra layers just mean more opportunity for extra costumes. Thank you so much, Alex. We'll check in with you in a little bit. Here's what you need to know. Booze and Brews Halloween Bash is happening at Schooner Street Brewery in Waterloo tonight. The event kicks off at 7. Grab your costume, enjoy $5 beers, and live music all night long. We'll be right back. Well, the countdown is on to Game 6. The Toronto Blue Jays looking to beat the Dodgers on home turf to capture their first World Series title in 32 years. We are just hours away from game time and the Jays' chance to cement their place in history. They took 2 of 3 games in LA to take a 3-2 lead and bring the series back to Toronto. And the fans are fired up.
I am here lining up. I was super lucky to get a couple of the general admission tickets, so that's why I'm hoping to grab a good spot for the game tonight.
Got this awesome Halloween costume, and been wanting to do this since we got this costume, so perfect timing, right?
I'm Snyder.
And I'm the Looney Dog guys.
Wearing our suits has been unlucky in other playoff games, but today is Halloween, so do we change these suits into costumes and the curse is broken? We don't know, but we're stressed and we just want to win today.
Well, the TTC is gearing up for the grand finale of the World Series. Planned closures have been called off this weekend, and there will be an increased service on lines 1 and 2 and downtown streetcar routes where possible. Metrolink says there will be late-night trips added on the Kitchener, Barrie, and Stouffville lines to help fans get home from Game 6 and Game 7 if it happens. And for anyone driving downtown Toronto this weekend, all 6 lanes of the Gardiner Expressway will be staying open. The city has canceled a closure between Spadina and Highway 427 that would have been in effect from Saturday night until Monday morning. The plan was to let crews finish final paving on some eastbound lanes, but officials say that'll happen on a later date. Now, those in the hospitality industry are gearing up for a busy night as business will be booming for many restaurants and bars streaming Game 6 of the World Series. Even this afternoon, Blue Jays gear could be seen at local restaurants, including at Moose Winooski's in Kitchener, where staff are also sporting gear as Canada's team takes on the LA Dodgers once again. It's all hands on deck, and most places are expecting to be full before the game even starts.
Tonight, every single TV will be watching the game. The sound's going to be on, so the energy, the vibe's going to be great. We're also giving away some jerseys for this evening as well. They could just fill out a ballot and hopefully, crossing your fingers, you'll win.
As you know, it's also Halloween at 6. CTV's Heather Centerin will hear from an uptown Waterloo bar about how that will make it an even busier night. A new vision test developed out of the University of Waterloo could mean more children receive treatment for vision problems earlier than ever before. Children under 3 years old struggle with tests used for older children, so the School of Optometry created a test that shows 4 shapes, 3 of which are identical, and the child is then asked to point out the one that is different. This has helped researchers with diagnosing vision problems in patients as young as 18 months old.
Then we start large and we gradually get smaller, so that this is equivalent to the letter test that an adult would be asked to read when they're at the optometrist.
CTV's Spencer Turcott shows us how the test works tonight at 6. The Ford government is taking the next steps towards the potential creation of a new energy corridor and pipeline from Western Canada.
It's a feasibility study. The conversation is just beginning, but we can't wait. We've got to move quickly on all opportunities to build this corridor for a made-in-Canada solution. It'll open up the north, and it's good news for all provinces and all territories.
Now, a study will explore the benefits of building oil and gas pipelines from Alberta and Saskatchewan to new and existing refineries in Ontario. The Premier's office says the proposal will unlock new markets for Canada's energy resources while reducing dependence on the United States. Opposition leaders say details are still scarce.
Really concerned that once again we are seeing this government and this premier disrespecting the taxpayer dollar by trying to foot the bill for something that, again, I think big, very profitable corporations should be able to pay for. And I would like to understand better what the cost is. He hasn't told us what the cost will be. He hasn't told us what the benefit will be to Ontario workers and Ontario families.
Now, the province says a new pipeline would be built with Canadian steel and create good-paying jobs across the country. Ontario, Alberta, and Saskatchewan have signed onto the proposed project. So far, Manitoba's government has not. Still ahead on CTV News at 5, meet the young local rapper dropping bars to back the Blue Jays.
In my song, I put, unlike you, we have a good bullpen so pitchers can switch, because the Dodgers don't have a very good bullpen.
And inspired by Toronto's run to the World Series. And here's what you need to know. Tapestry Hall in Cambridge is hosting their Monster Bash tonight. Sip on spooky cocktails and take part in their costume contest. The event kicks off at 8. Tickets are $25 in advance or $30 at the door. We'll be right back.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Well, it's a big night tonight. Aside from the Jays playing in Game 6 of the World Series, it's Halloween night, of course. Alex is standing by from a haunted house along Bridgeport Road in Waterloo. And Alex, all the little ghosts and goblins are getting ready for a spooktacular night.
They sure are. And yes, I know the Jays are playing tonight too, but Halloween, we cannot forget. One of the most important nights to get dressed up and get all the candy. I've got some new friends here too with some really great costumes. Oh my goodness, how excited are you for Halloween tonight?
Excited.
Very excited. Okay, so you know this maze pretty well. What's it like for you to see it all done here?
Scary and cool.
Scary and cool. Did you guys help with the setup too?
Yeah.
You did. Okay, I've got to ask too, what are your costumes tonight? You're a scary scarecrow. Yes, okay, I know it's tricky to maybe chat with the mask on there. What are you guys for Halloween?
I'm just like a demon.
A demon, okay. You and I are kind of matching tonight. Who are you tonight?
Alphaba.
And you're not a princess. You already corrected me, but you two are a pair this evening. What are you dressed up as?
Glinda.
Glinda from Wicked, right? That is awesome. Okay, so you're going to be trick-or-treating, but you're also going to be maybe helping some kids through the maze. Do you find it scary here? This is an immersive display too. No, or pretty good?
Kind of.
Kind of scary. Okay, so kind of scary. I've got to say, I haven't gone through the entire thing yet, too. Am I going to get scared this evening? I'm getting some head nods. Yes, I'm going to. So, yes, along Bridgeport Road here, known as the Pumpkin House, and they've got quite an impressive display here, doing this for 12 years. And there's actually 200 pumpkins outside too, which is pretty neat. Okay, weather-wise though, we're noticing a bit more cloud cover rolling over us here in Waterloo. Also noticed just a couple of raindrops as well, but not expecting a washout by any means for trick-or-treating time. Getting into the overnight hours though, this is when we potentially could see a little bit more shower and then some mixing conditions possible. That means potentially some flurries getting into overnight tonight and into your early morning hours as well. And in terms of temperature-wise, we're feeling that chill, 7 degrees right now here in Kitchener, Waterloo. Single digits pretty much throughout southern, southwestern Ontario, unless you're in Sarnia, Ridgetown, or Windsor, for example. And then, yes, getting into the overnight, just going to be dropping down to an expected 1 degree, mainly cloudy. And again, seeing that 60% chance for some showers or flurries, so that mixing condition possible. And then tomorrow, daytime high of 9, mainly cloudy. And again, that chance of flurries or showers sticking with us as well. When we look at our almanac, we are setting pretty seasonal for this time of year, but the days getting shorter and shorter. That sunrise now not until closer to 8 o'clock in the morning, and setting 6:15 p.m. And a note as well, too, as we get into the weekend, overnight on Sunday, 2 a.m., remember, the clocks will fall back by 1 hour. Okay, so over the next few days or so, once we get past a little bit more cloud cover and the chance to see some potential mixing for tomorrow, that sun expected to make a return for your Sunday with a high of 10 degrees, getting down to an overnight low of 3. So if you've got plans, maybe trick-or-treat in the area, this is definitely going to be a place to stop by tonight, Colton. I'm sure I'm going to be able to maybe do a little tour if we don't get too scared.
Yeah, don't get scared, but I have to say the scariest thing you said in that whole thing was flurries. We don't want to hear that, so you can be scared, but just stay warm, Alex. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at what's trending. Adam Sandler might have been seeing double this week as the Seattle Kraken hockey team went dressed as different characters from his movies for Halloween. Sandler was in Seattle during his stand-up tour and made a stop into the Kraken locker room for a surprise. Kraken players showed off their costumes during the visit, including Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, and even the wedding singer. I was going to say I wanted to be Happy Gilmore for Halloween, so maybe I'll still dress up as that tonight. Speaking of Halloween, an unexpected customer swung into a Halloween spirit store, forcing employees in Texas to call police for help.
I'm the one that called. There's a monkey running around. There he is right there.
An IKEA monkey was funny, but this is just fun to see, and it's happy to know that they're pointing at a monkey that escaped from its owner in the Halloween store. Staff said they tried to get the primate down from the ceiling for about a half hour, but the pet's owner reunited with the monkey shortly after police arrived and explained how a scary display spooked the small animal, which is legal to have in Texas. And if you have teens or tweens at home, this next story likely won't surprise you, but it may irritate you a little. Now, Dictionary.com has selected 6'7" as its word of the year for 2025. I'll point out 6'7" is 2 words, not really a word, it's more of a phrase. Despite admitting it's not exactly sure what it means, it's believed the trend came from a song by the rapper Skrilla, in which he repeats it multiple times. The expression and accompanying hand gesture has gone viral among teens around the world. A well-known Canadian had Maritimers seeing stars last night. Astronaut Chris Hadfield was the star attraction at this exclusive sold-out event at an Indigo in Halifax. Hadfield is promoting Final Orbit, the newest book in his Apollo Murders series. Maritimers gave him a very warm welcome.
We came here to see Chris Hadfield, one of Canada's great role models for young men and women, a man that forged a way through Canada Space Agency and made multiple trips in space.
You see the Blue Jays support out east as well. Hadfield's next scheduled appearance is in Winnipeg, followed by Calgary and then Vancouver. The tour's only stop in Ontario was in Ottawa on Wednesday. And here's what you need to know. In tonight's Digital Dive, if you're still figuring out where to trick or treat tonight, we've got a long collection of some of the best decorated homes in the region of Waterloo. A whole list of spooky displays is on our website where you can click through the images and decide where you're going tonight. Our online team has you covered. Just scan the QR code in the corner of your screen or go to ctvnewskitchener.ca. Time now to take a look at our final 5 stories we're following today. The Toronto Blue Jays World Series run is creating a new generation of fans, including an 11-year-old up-and-coming rapper from Brant County. Felix Muntz, aka Flickety Split, has dropped a new song dedicated to his love of Canada's team, which is already generating tens of thousands of views online. He's only been rapping for around a year and hopes his song gets into the hands of the players.
Let's go Blue Jays, time for baseball. Let's go Blue Jays, go up and don't fall. I think it's gonna pump them up. Like they played it at my school assembly and everybody was like cheering super loud, so I think it's getting them all ready for tonight.
Coming up at 6, Ashley Bacon will hear more from Felix and his mom about his musical journey. Now, beyond the Blue Jays, it's a major weekend for local university athletics with several championships and playoffs underway. The Guelph Griffins women's rugby team takes on the University of Victoria in the U Sports National semi-final in Vancouver tonight at 7. Guelph defeated St. FX 45-21 in the quarterfinal on Wednesday. Both the bronze and gold medal games will be held on Sunday. Now, both the Guelph Griffins and Wilfrid Laurier Golden Hawks men's rugby teams are playing in the Ontario semi-final tonight. Guelph takes on Western at home while Laurier hosts Queens. Both of those games get underway at 7. The winners will head to the Ontario final the next weekend. Tomorrow, the Battle of Highway 7 heads to the Gridiron in Waterloo. Wilfrid Laurier University hosts Guelph in the Ontario University football semifinals. The winner will head to the Yates Cup the next weekend. Laurier enters the matchup undefeated, while Guelph won a wild game over Western last week. Kickoff at University Stadium is at 1 in the afternoon on Saturday. And Guelph's women's soccer team heads to Toronto to take on the Varsity Blues for the OUA Championship tomorrow. The Griffins earned their way to the final with 2 clean sheets in the postseason, defeating Laurier 1-0 in the quarterfinal and Queens 4-0 in the semis. Kickoff is at noon at Varsity Stadium. Also this weekend, Guelph hosts Western in the Canadian University Field Lacrosse Playoffs on Sunday, and Guelph University and Waterloo compete at the Canadian University Rowing Championships in Montreal. So a great weekend for sports if you're watching sports. You got the Blue Jays, there's major junior hockey going on, all these universities are competing in championships, lots to watch after you eat all that candy or enjoy the candy while you're watching. Well, that's our time. Thanks so much for watching us. We'll have more local news coverage tonight at 6 o'clock, but first, here's CTV National News.